place has been an uproar. Ooh. No, hackers found me, but fuck it, whatever.
Yep, sure.
Hooray! We'll use that as an excuse to not get arrested.
Yay! Perfect.
Right, now we eat a hasty retreat.
Mm-hmm.
Wow.
Yeah, so... Wait a minute. Aha! I was about to say that's going to be the end of the session, but we have a lot more to go. I forgot. But yeah, they found the files that they were looking for that showed that the old Nile company was bought out in super illegal ways.
Yeah.
And it's super incriminating evidence that got completely covered up for some reason.
Yeah, send this to WikiLeaks.
Oh, yeah.
And then they'll smear Hillary Clinton with it.
Oh, getting political now.
I'm not actually. That's not even a political thing. It's just WikiLeaks is being weird.
Yeah.
It's like they focused on one thing right now.
Yeah.
That's more a world affair than a political thing. Not
That's
talking
true.
policy here.
Yeah. Like, I don't know, there's a lot we can get into that's not really appropriate for this show on that
Yeah,
discussion.
probably.
Yeah. Like, are they like 100% focused on just leaking out anything that's incriminating against anyone corrupt? Is it this revenge for the Obama administration and how they handled the other big WikiLeaks? Because she was part of the administration. Like,
maybe it's just the people giving them the information and they're getting a lot from one specific source that has an agenda. Like, who knows?
Yeah, like somebody disgruntled, the Russians. Like, there's a lot to unpack from that. And that's the focus
Well,
of
there's
our
so
show.
much we don't know and can't know.
Yeah.
Like, it would all be speculation.
Yeah. But no, we just make furry dick jokes here.
Yeah. Well, I mean, we
That's
do
not
more
the
than
purview
that.
of our show.
We've done more
talk-
than that, but usually
we
we don't
talk
talk
story
about
structure.
real things.
We talk framing of things. We talk characters.
Yeah, we talk personal things sometimes.
Sometimes, yeah. Share little anecdotes.
Yeah. But, yeah, usually not so much the world
Yeah.
stuff.
But yeah, to bring us back onto this, because we missed the whole conversation, which,
Yeah.
admittedly, like, the gist of the conversation was, oh, hey, this other company that got bought out, and that other programmer whose memory seems really fucked up, made the entire Avatar system, which is this super revolutionary thing for Eden, and why it's so fucking important.
Yeah, was that the one they called the misanthropist? Like, I saw that in there, I just wasn't paying close attention. Like, he didn't want to be near people, and so he made the avatars? Is that what the case was?
Yeah, something like that.
Okay. I guess
Yeah,
Corrections Fox will know what the hell we're talking about. Or
Yeah,
if
Corrections
if
Fox.
he's even needed.
Yeah. No, I think the gist of it was the guy with amnesia we were speaking to, who doesn't even realize he has amnesia.
Well, yeah.
Used to be this big workaholic, and he made that system, and then mysteriously he got out of the company, went to a quiet family life, and then everything got weird.
Okay.
Yeah, so that's the end of that little arc.
Yep. It is nice that there's just downtime every now and then.
Yeah, like, there's a series of games I really like called Front Mission, and it's tactical robot fighting. You have robots, you move them across the grid, you shoot at each other. That's the entirety of the gameplay. So, from a gameplay perspective, none of the levels are anything but you have robots, they have robots, shoot their robots while trying to avoid getting shot as much as you can.
Right.
And yet, the parts I look forward to most are the parts where it seems like the characters can finally get a breather and they can have a night out and they can chit-chat with each other.
Yeah.
Because again, it goes back to that, the most interesting time we see characters is when they do get that chance to decompress and we do understand who they are. so that when shit hits the fan and all your cards are on the table, you understand who these people are and what they're fighting for.
Yeah, I think it's more of a symbiotic relationship than one being more interesting than the other. Like, you have to see them in crisis and in their downtime and compare, like, how they react and stuff like that. Because, like, some people are they're gonna step up to the challenge during the crisis, whereas others are gonna become cowardly and just kind of flinch away at the moment of highest tension.
Yeah, you'll have those moments where people just... Like, think how many times you've seen characters that talk a big game and pound their chest and make themselves out to be these big super soldiers, and then shit hits the fan and they're immediately out. They're like, nope, not my problem. You deal with it.
Yep.
And how many quiet, shy, timid, meek characters, when push comes to shove, they get things done.
Yeah, I'm kind of reminded of Urban from, or is it Irvine? I don't know. From Final Fantasy VIII. Like, he's one of those braggart types, and then when everything comes down to it, like, he has massive trouble taking the shot.
Yeah. Or, like, we obviously have furry fans and furry listeners. They probably outnumber everybody, so a lot of you are probably familiar with My Little Pony, for better or worse. But, like, think of 90% of the Fluttershy stories you see. Where it's like, oh, this is a really meek, mild character. You don't expect her to do much, and then when crisis comes down, she usually steps up.
Pulls through, yeah.
Because that's like one of the big messages of that character, that the writers love to just repeat themselves.
They're a big fan of repeating themselves.
Yeah, one of the reasons I stopped watching.
The same here. Especially because they repeat lessons that the characters have already learned, supposedly.
Yeah.
It's like, oh, apparently character development is not a thing in this show. Okay.
Well, on the one hand, if that's intentional, I have respect for it, but I don't get the impression it is.
Well, the problem is it's a chronological show, and events do stick. Like, if it weren't chronological, that would be fine.
Well,
but,
no,
like,
my argument
some characters
is...
do have arcs.
My argument is, a character says they learn their lesson. They say that, like, oh, I get it now, and they really don't, and they repeat their mistakes. If
that would
that's
be
intentional,
fine, except that they never say, I guess I screwed up again.
Yeah.
They just, oh, okay, I learned it.
Yeah. And that's the problem.
Yeah.
But what Kyoko here is saying is, yeah, so fucking nerds in Akihabara have been disappearing, and that's really fucking weird. Go find these nerds. Ooh, right, this is an Akihabara level. I get to talk about Akihabara. Yay! I love Akihabara.
Seems to be like the nerd central of Tokyo.
Yeah, like, I think I've already said it in another episode, but it's interesting enough to repeat. So Akihabara, for people who don't know, is the big nerd district in Tokyo. You will see a lot of animes, and especially anime-style video games. If not, let you go and look around Akihabara, we'll talk about Akihabara. And it's like this 4 or 5 block grid in Tokyo that is just nothing but nerd shit.
Yeah.
There are multiple stores that are all multiple stories tall. It's just like, do you want Gundam models? Do you want anime figures? Do you want playing cards? Do you want video games and computer parts? This is where you go. It's like a fucking anime convention, 24/7, 356 days of the year. Words. All day, every day, it's nerd shit. There are big arcades there. There are chicks hanging out in maid costumes, giving out free samples or trying to get you to come to a business. Lots of duty-free shops too, because it attracts a lot of international crowds.
That makes sense.
It's not as much of an international area as, say, Shibuya. No, Shinjuku. Shinjuku is more of like the international area. But yeah, if you're like a weeaboo Akihabara is the place to be.
Okay.
And basically how that started was, after the war, GIs would sell off spare radio parts. And a bunch of Japanese college students would buy those parts, put together radios, and sell them in this area. And then radios became televisions, televisions became computers.
Right.
And from that spawned everything else, and it was kind of the tech district.
Mm-hmm.
And where you have tech, you have nerds. And Japanese nerds are into anime and the weeaboo shit and all that.
Mm-hmm.
So that's where, like, all of the big comic book stores are. It's where all the big video game stores are. It's where all the big anime stores are.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm not gonna lie, I've been there a couple of times. There's a lot of cool stuff. There's a lot of creepy people there.
Are there now?
Oh, the worst are the Junior Idol fanboys.
Oh. What is that?
So, in Japan, they have their pop stars.
Uh-huh.
Some pop stars will retain popularity past the age of 16. But for so many, it's like between the ages of 12 and 16 is your time to do anything if you're a female singer.
Uh-huh.
There's a lot of like really young pop stars that are in these groups, and the idea is, and I'm exaggerating a little bit, you can go well into your 20s, but once you hit like 30, it's like no one cares anymore.
Right.
AKB48 is probably the biggest example of this, but there's a whole bunch of different groups.
Mm-hmm.
And all of them have this, like, dedicated fan base that are rabid supporters of these groups.
Uh-huh.
But the image you have to maintain this, like, really chaste, pure image.
Yeah.
To the point where if you even have a boyfriend, not even taking it to a sexual level, but if you have a boyfriend, that violates your fans' trust.
Yep.
Because you have to maintain this weird fantasy.
Yeah.
And the members of these groups have, like, all sorts of crazy merchandise deals. Like, they'll have trading cards. They'll have all this paraphernalia around them.
Mm-hmm.
With really big groups like AKB48. And people that don't know AKB48 is a pop group. And the 48 isn't some arbitrary number. That's the number of members in this group of pop singers.
Oh.
What they'll do is they'll have like 3 or 4 songs, and then they'll just cycle out members in different roles and different configurations. And the AKB48 fans usually have a favorite member. So they'll go out and like, I want to see the main song where my favorite is the lead singer, or where my favorite is the backup singer, and compare and all this other stuff. And you'll see people squatting in front of stores that support these pop stars with big binders full of trading cards. Like, think how people with sports cards are.
Yeah.
But they're all like these pop stars, and it's like, it really comes off as super creepy to the Western audience.
Uh-huh. I could see that.
And that's not even the worst, because I don't know if they have since made it illegal, but when I was over there, they would have these videos that weren't tied to the pop industry. They called them models.
Mm-hmm.
And the videos are, for all intents and purposes, like one step above softcore porn.
Oh.
Like, the girls in the videos are fully clothed. They never get naked.
Right.
But it's always stuff like outfits you would associate with fetishism, like what are those sports pants called? But yeah, like the high school gym outfit. Yeah, this is a really accurate depiction of Akihabara, by the way.
Okay.
That's what it looks like. That Sega building is right there next to the train station.
Huh. That's pretty cool.
Yeah, and oh god, I'm talking to one of the creepy people.
Mm-hmm.
Who's talking about their fucking favorite idol pop star.
Mimi-tan.
Yeah. But yeah, these videos, like, they're in maid outfits, they're in skirts, they're in swimwear and stuff like that. And they're doing, like, all these poses that show off their butt or their chest or whatever. And the creepiest part is legally these videos can go as young as like 8.
Oh wow.
Yeah.
I mean, we do pageants, and that's kind of the same thing, beauty pageants for little kids. So we can't talk too much, but ours is gross too, so...
Yeah, it's fucking weird as all hell.
Yeah.
Oh, this guy. If you remember in an earlier episode I told you he does poses, you're gonna think it's hilarious.
Okay.
Do it.
Your love.
Yeah, he has information we need. But first, a deal. This is the bullshit the creepy people talk about. Their purity, their chat, their chaste nature, and all this. There it is.
Oh my god.
Straight up JoJo pose.
Yes, it is.
The nerd models in this game are programmed with JoJo animations. It's fucking amazing. Because you always know that guy.
That was the Joseph pose, wasn't it?
Yeah, that was a Joseph pose.
Okay.
But you always know that guy who makes the dumb poses unironically. Like, there's always that guy in high school or college, like, especially if you play trading card games.
Oh, I bet.
There's always that joker who will draw his card like Yugi does and over-dramatically does things.
Yeah, and slam it down on the table with the two-fingered... Yeah.
It's like, chill your tits, dude. Neither of us are going to the Shadow Realm if we lose this. I summon my... Fuck you. Play the game.
Do the glasses push? You just ran into my trap card. And now you're going to the Shadow Realm.
Yeah.
Prim and proper 4 eyes.
So here's the girl that guy was asking about. We are gonna put them together. It's gonna be true love. She's staring at him from across the street even.
Oh, of course.
Ha, psych. He's a fucking nerd. He's never gonna find love.
Balls. Gotta make fun of the nerds. Even though we totally are them.
Yeah, there's that. But also, like, in nerd communities, we always know that guy. We know the weirdo, like the guy this game is slamming. Where it's like, I'm such a nice guy, why don't I have a girlfriend?
Yeah.
It's like, well, by asking that question, you're kind of answering it yourself. Because you're a creepy weirdo.
Yep.
I'm sure that rings very true with you. And I'm not just saying that because you're a creepy weirdo. What I'm saying is you have a lot of creepier weirdos coming to you to bitch about this kind of shit.
Yeah?
And then you give them the answer they don't want to hear, and then they go bitch about how mean you are.
Yeah, that sounds about right. Die Stalker. Stalker directed by Tartakovsky. Okay.
I used to say shit like that when I was younger, and it is so cringy now. It's a fucking commercial district that just caters to your bullshit.
Yeah.
It's just you're not used to, like, your bullshit being catered to.
Right. Well, I mean, that's one of the things about nerds, and one of the reasons they never really socially adapted is because everything was just so obscure that we're just not used to anybody catering to us. Like, I remember when RPGs were a rare thing.
Oh my god! And like real nerds, threats of physical violence will cause them to cave in immediately.
Yep. Oh my god, look at that guy.
He's such a tool. I know someone who knows someone who kind of once saw someone disappear.
Maybe.
Yeah.
Okay.
Thanks for your help, you fucking tool.
Yep.
Kamimania!
Thank you!
Right, we dealt with that loser. Never have to see his dumbass again.
Yeah.
Onwards to more plot.
Good.
Oh yeah, this is the episode where we finally get to see Sasuke's real character.
Oh, okay. That's good.
But yeah,
in college, like, okay, so I'm the kind of guy who usually notices the underdog that people have a problem with and tries to befriend them. And sometimes it works out really well, and sometimes it bites me in the ass. And in college, there was this one guy named Tobias, and I'm not going to say his last name for obvious reasons. But there was this one guy named Tobias who everybody had like a serious problem with because he was just weird as shit, and he breathed heavily and stuff like that. And so I tried befriending him, and he was okay. Like, we didn't have a whole lot in common, so there wasn't much to befriend him about. Like, we were both nerds, but different types of nerds. Well, it turns out that he was bi, and he got a crush on me, and I'm like, oh. Fuck. And that's probably the biggest time that it bit me in the ass. But yeah, like, eventually I just, because I'm not a very strong personality, I couldn't just straight up tell him, dude, I'm not interested in you, I'm sorry, I'm straight. But so what wound up resolving that was that he went off to a different college. Like, he transferred a couple years after I met him. But man, that was weird, because like, he's one of those guys, he was really, really big. Like, I wouldn't say strong necessarily, but you know, large guys, tall and fat, just tend to be strong by default. Yeah. And so that was a little unnerving. Like, I don't think he ever meant anyone any violence, but there were times when he just had fits of weird rage. Like, he actually made that kind of noise, and it wasn't a joke. Yeah. So, and it wasn't really usually toward anyone in particular. Like, Bush got elected that year, and he was pissed off, and he made that noise. Like, that's the kind of thing that happened. But every now and then, just he was weird like that. And yeah, that was immediately what came to mind when you were talking about these guys that we know.
Yeah. So here's Sasuke in the nerd form. Like, hey, I'm doing a case. What are you doing here, nerd guy? Cool guy. Sasuke. Sasuke, what are you doing here?
He's just being cool. Yeah. He's hanging around, seeing all these people who are way too uncool for him.
I'm just investigating people disappearing in Akihabara. What are you doing here?
I'm disappearing people in Akihabara.
Oh, you're here investigating it too. That's cool.
Yeah. It's you. It's totally you.
You're making people disappear. I knew you were an evil person from the beginning. Oh, he's gonna help me out. That's cool.
Yeah, how nice of him. Yeah. What a busy guy.
Yeah, he's really busy being cool. Yeah, what are you doing here, Sasuke? What are you doing? Oh, you happen to be passing by this private forum, huh?
Yeah, that's why when you catch someone on Fur Affinity, they're like, oh, I just randomly came across this website.
Yeah, I didn't know what a furry was, and I was just kind of curious, just looking around.
Communist manufacturing.
So, I used to go to my local mall and play cards with my friends, and we would just commandeer one of the tables in the food court. And this was before all of my local friends knew I was a furry. And there was another local friend who was a furry, and I knew he was a furry because he was very open about being a furry. He had a furry playmat and everything for his cards. He didn't know I was a furry, though. So one day, he came wearing a tail. And it was this big old raccoon tail, normal colors except for the tip, which was neon green.
Oh, sounds like a furry.
Yeah. So I sat down next to him, and I looked over and was like, hey, what's with the tail? And he gets super defensive about it. It's like, oh, it's just something I like to wear. Yeah. You know, the normal routine. I'm like, no, I get that. I'm just wondering why the tip's green. He's like, oh, that's my character. I'm like, cool. And I don't mention it again. Fast forward to like 3 months later, he finds out I'm a furry, and he's super butt mad at me. Next time he shows up, he's like, you knew I would do that when you asked me about my tail. I'm like, yeah, I did. Like, you fucking asshole. It's like, hey, I'm not the one that jumped to conclusions that when I asked you about the tail, you thought it was something bad.
Yeah.
I was just asking about your tail.
Mm-hmm.
You assume I was giving you shit. He's like, you were giving me shit. I'm like, yeah, but not the shit you thought I was giving you.
Yeah. Mage, the IRL troll.
Troll fucking everywhere.
Yep.
So, one of the girls we met at the comic forum, she's here saying like, hey, so one of the people who used to show up, who didn't disappear, who wasn't there when you showed up, uploaded a bunch of really cool mangas. They were well drawn, but kind of derivative. Then everyone who talks shit about her, they're the ones disappearing. S'accuse.
Yeah. It's Rohan. Rohan Kishibe.
Around a corner, there's Heaven's Gate waiting for us.
Yeah.
Haha, surprise! I'm a computer. You just put me into read-only mode.
Yeah.
What is this enemy stand?
Yeah, you are kind of a stand, aren't you?
Yeah, kind of. I'm my own stand at this point.
Yeah.
I'm my own stand, and then my stand has stand called Digimon.
Mm-hmm. That's amazing.
God, that image of Rohan drawing manga is reused so often.
Oh, yeah.
I saw that on Tumblr yesterday where it's like, new Pokemon has been announced. The porn artist.
Yeah, just...
Yeah. So we have another conversation that we've already gotten the gist of that goes on for a little bit longer than it should.
Mm-hmm.
Hey!
I think that's why we can talk over all this garbage and you can summarize.
Hey, Sasuke!
Yep.
He's gonna hack the files.
Yeah.
Recover the deleted ones. By the way, that store they're standing in front of, that's actually a real store.
Oh, God.
Oh, we were talking over him first time we saw him, but every episode, this guy appears in the overworld somewhere.
Uh-huh.
And if you go talk to him, you get, like, a bunch of free shit.
Hmm.
So if you're doing a legitimate normal run, he's worth tracking down because he does give you good items for that point in the game.
Yeah.
But since this is New Game Plus and my team is crazy overpowered, what the fuck ever.
Yeah, may as well.
But no, the store they're standing in front that we were standing in front of was the Mandrake store. That's a big chain over in Japan. And that's actually what the Nakano Mandrake looks like. I visited there last time I was in Japan. And the Mandrake's gimmick is they're used goods stores, specifically used anime stuff. And the Japanese standard for used is about as good as the American standard for new in a lot of times. So if anyone is planning a trip to Japan, I would highly recommend looking up the Mandrake stores if you want to pick up anime stuff cheap. Because you can get used figures for like half the price, and they're still in good condition.
Nice.
And you can also generally pick up a lot of older stuff. Nakano Broadway especially. When I was there, it was 2012. And they had like a bunch of Yu-Gi-Oh shit, which had gone out of fashion in like 2004. And a bunch of other stuff from like 80s and 90s anime. Well, Akihabara is usually more the up-to-date stuff. But yeah, Sad Sack here is recovering deleted files.
Yeah.
Because the manga in question got deleted, and so did all the comments, so we need to confirm that all the people leaving shitty comments were the ones that got deleted.
Yep.
Oh, we found a Digimon.
Not only is it a unique program, one of a kind, but it's very unique. It's very one of a kind.
Ah. Well, I suppose, like you're giving it shit, but stop and think about, like, this is my OC Donut Steel. You can make a unique Sonic the Hedgehog character.
Yeah.
Like, Cold Steel the Hedgehog is unique.
Yeah.
But then you get characters that's like, yeah, my character is a wolf spider. By that I mean he is half wolf, half spider. That's pretty unique. Well, not that one, because that's an obvious joke people make.
Yeah.
But like, oh, my character is half pangolin, half giant mandarin. It's like,
Yeah.
okay, that's pretty unique. Or a giant anteater dragon. It's like, haven't seen that one before.
Yeah. Oh, shoot, just today, my parents were talking about this, this Howdy Doody character. I'm trying to remember what the hell its name was. But it's like a mix of every animal ever, and it's the most terrifying thing in existence. I'll have to look it up.
I'd imagine so. I mean, a lot of stuff from that era is just fucking nightmare fuel.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah, Sad Sack is super, super excited to be running around doing this adventure with you.
Yep. Flubadub. Yeah, that's what it is. Flubadub.
Flubadub.
It's terrifying. I'll send you a picture sometime.
Alright, we'll have Corrections Fox face it in. Oh, God, that thing's horrifying.
Yeah, it's the most disgusting thing, and it wants to eat your soul.
Oh. Yeah. So, once again, this game shows off it is the master of asset reuse. Because we're going back to Kurlan. And the enemies haven't changed.
Beautiful.
Yeah, so once more, we go through the area we've already been to, and this is far from the last time this bullshit will happen. This is also one of the RPGs where, after a battle, if you had knocked out party members, they're revived at 1 HP.
Oh, okay. That's not bad.
Yeah.
I appreciate that in RPGs.
Yeah, Oh yeah, we're back to Mandrake. Shucks, the detective ain't here no more. Hope Takumi comes up with more stuff. I don't want no trouble. I can't leave things like this. I'm the sweetest girl in all of Japan. Is the detective still around here, I wonder?
Yeah, if you say that about yourself, then you're probably not the sweetest girl in all of Japan.
Oh, it's you! Heck, it's been an awful long time. No contact, worried all about you. We were so worried. Wonder if you might have disappeared. Hey, what's the matter? You're freaking me out. I'm just a country girl. Go to Akihabara? Sure, I don't know what's there. This is clearly not suspicious at all.
Nope. ... Stand there being creepy.
Oh. Oh, Fashu wanted to fuse in with Satsak there. Just slip sliding all over the place.
Fashu, whose favorite Digimon is Renamon.
Yeah. Absolute favorite.
That's what they told me.
Oh.
With skill comes luck.
Fuck are you
Character's so weird. Just kind of all over the place. Doesn't really seem to recognize, like, the stakes in reality and stuff that are going on.
Yeah, not quite yet. Later on, he kind of starts to get it, but no matter how what answers you pick, you're always kind of a weird airhead.
Yeah, exactly.
Which seems to be a very appealing character to a lot of, like, Japanese video games and anime. Where it's like, I don't need to comprehend the full situation. As long as I do my best, things will come out okay.
Right. Which is
get stuff
silly.
Yeah. Then you get stuff like Madoka or Berserk, where it very clearly subverts that, where it's like, no, understanding what the fuck is going on is kind of really important.
Yeah.
It is very easy to get in over your head, and you should probably pay more attention.
Yeah, you do not want to be manipulated.
Yeah. Hacking!
Yeah. You wave your hands and screens come up, and then you touch the screens and wave your hands around them.
Yeah.
Oh no, the screens disappeared.
It's Marvel Cinematic Universe hacking. Just bring up the holograms.
Yeah. Oh, that's a Digimon.
Oh. Mini boss battle.
Yeah. Music's amazing in 2 times speed.
Everything's amazing in 2 times speed.
Yeah.
Yeah. And as a reminder to people who are coming back to this, who are watching it as it comes out, when you have somebody else with you, their partner is in the team, and they're acting independently of you. Upside, they're completely invincible, so anytime the opponents do something that specifically targets just them, the enemy's basically whiffing on their turn.
Yeah.
Downside is you have no control over them, so, like, sometimes they'll know really good buffs and just throw them out randomly, as opposed to when it's objectively good to do it. Or debuffs, for that matter. So this is the point in the game when, in hard mode, enemies start to actually become problematic.
Yeah.
as minor spoilers coming up, we're going to have a couple of boss fights where I barely get through them. Like, there's one where it's just...
What happens if you actually lose?
It's game over. You go back to the last time you saved.
Okay, that makes sense. I know some games don't do that.
Yeah, a lot of games these days do checkpoints, or will kick you back. In this game, it is to the last time you saved, but you can save anywhere, so...
Yeah.
And a lot of times, the bosses are pretty well telegraphed.
Yeah, not this time, but...
Well, this time I went up and investigated a thing, and last time I investigated a thing, it triggered a cutscene that led to a boss fight.
Oh, that's true, yeah. So I guess that would make sense. Just save before you do anything.
Yeah, very rarely will you get ambushed by a boss in this game.
Mm-hmm.
Most of the time, you'll either have to directly interact with a thing, or you will see them in the room.
Right.
So, like, if you see a boss and you don't save, it's kind of your own fault.
Yeah.
Granted, that did happen to me once, where I was playing and I saw a boss, I'm like, I'll be fine, and it kicked my fucking ass, and I lost like 2 hours. I'm like,
oh God.
Ow.
Oh yeah, that sucks.
Yeah, I think in my first run, that's when I switched it down from hard to normal.
Mm-hmm.
Because some of the bosses become fucking bullshit in hard mode.
Oh, that's great.
Like, the one that really got it, and I'm going to give it my college try when I get to him, was, I swear I fought this fucker like 10 or 15 times in hard mode. And it's the first time in a JRPG where defend was the really good option.
Really?
Like, I've played a lot of JRPGs where defend is an option, and there are fights that are designed with the intent of you defending.
Mm-hmm.
But, like, whatever the downside to not defending, you could generally power through.
Right.
No,
it does
this
a whole
boss
bunch
fight
of
is
damage,
like,
and you can heal that damage.
Yeah, this boss fight is, no, fuck you, defend.
Yeah.
Do not take this attack full on.
Mm-hmm. Which actually should be how it's used, and I don't know why it never is.
Yeah, it was a really tough fight. I'm convinced I could actually win that fight.
Mm-hmm.
But between the time when you can save and the fight is that horrible thing of an unskippable cutscene.
Yeah.
And admittedly, the first time you see the cutscene, it's really cool.
Mm-hmm.
But after like the 8th time, it's like, oh, fuck this.
Okay, done.
Yeah.